अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है बिज़नेस स्टडीज़ से हमने लिया है 12th क्लास के लिए, दैट इज़ प्रोसेस ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग। कल जो हमारा टॉपिक था दैट वाज रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन प्लानिंग एंड कंट्रोलिंग। आज जो हमने जो टॉपिक चुना है दैट इज़ प्रोसेस ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग, इसी को आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे। Controlling process consists of setting performance standards, measurement of actual performance, comparing actual performance with standards, analyzing deviations, critical point control, management by exception. तो last that is taking corrective action. इनको हम वन बाय वन डिस्कस करेंगे। तो पहला है सेटिंग परफॉर्मेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स। द फर्स्ट स्टेप इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग is concerned with setting performance standards. These standards are the basis for measuring the actual performance. The standards act as a lighthouse that warns and guides the ships at sea. Standards are the benchmarks towards which efforts and entire organization are directed. These standards can be expressed both in quantitative and qualitative terms. Examples of quantitative standards they are revenue to be earned, units to be produced and sold, cost to be incurred, time to be spent in performing a task, amount of inventories to be maintained, so on. Examples of quantitative standards: improving motivation level of employees. दूसरा है improving labor relations. Third one is improving quality of products. And last one is improving goodwill, etc. In order to facilitate easy comparison of actual performance with the standards, a manager should try to set these standards in quantitative terms as far as possible. However, in case of qualitative standards, effort should be made to define these standards in such a way that comparison becomes easily understandable. For example, for improving customer satisfaction in a restaurant having self-service, standard can be set in terms of time taken to get a table, place the order and collect the order. Moreover, the standard set should be flexible enough so that necessary changes can be made according to varying situations. दूसरा है measurement of actual performance. Once the standards have been determined, the next step is to measure the actual performance. The various techniques for measuring are sample checking, performance reports, personal observation, so on. However, in order to facilitate easy comparison, the performance should be measured on same basis that the standards have following or some of the ways for measuring performance. Superior prepares a report regarding the performance of an employee. Various ratios like gross profit ratio, debtor turnover ratio, return on investment, current ratio, etc. are calculated at periodic intervals to measure companies' performance. Progress made in areas like marketing can be measured by considering the number of units, increase in market share, etc. In small organizations, each unit produced can be checked personally to ensure the quality standards. In large organizations, the technique of sample checking is used. Under this technique, some pieces are checked at random for quality specification. Third one is comparing actual performance with standards. This step involves comparing the actual performance with standards laid down in order to find the deviations. For example, performance of a salesman in terms of unit sold in a week can be easily measured against the standard output for the week. Fourth one is analyzing deviations. Some deviations are possible in all the activities. However, the deviation in the important areas of business need to be corrected more urgently as compared to deviation in insignificant areas. Insignificant areas. Management should use critical point control and management by exception in such areas. Critical point control. Since it is neither easy nor economical to check each and every activity in an organization, the control should focus on key result areas, KRAs, which act as the critical points. The KRAs are very essential for the success of an organization. Therefore, the entire organization has to suffer if anything goes wrong at these points. For example, in a manufacturing organization, an increase of 7% in labor cost is more troublesome than an 18% increase in stationery expenses. Management by exception. Management by exception or control by exception is an important principle of management control. According to this principle, an attempt to control everything results in controlling nothing. Thus, only the important deviations which exceed the prescribed limit should be brought to the notice of management. Thus, if plans provide for 3% increase in labor cost, deviations beyond 3% alone should be brought to the notice of the management. Advantages of critical control and management by exception are: since managers deal only with important deviations, it results in saving time and efforts. It helps in identifying important deviations which need timely action to keep the organization at the correct path. By handing over the routine problems to the subordinates, management by exception facilitates delegation of authority and helps in increasing morale of employees. It ensures better utilization of managerial expertise by focusing managerial attention only on important areas. After identifying the deviations, various causes for these deviations are analyzed. The main causes can be structural drawbacks, shortage of resources, environmental factors beyond organizational control, unrealistic standards, defective process, etc. Exact cause or causes of deviations must be identified correctly in order to take effective corrective measures. Taking corrective action, that is the last uh, point or factor in the process of controlling. The last step in the process of controlling involves taking corrective actions. If the deviations are within acceptable limits, no corrective measure is required. However, if the deviations exceed acceptable limits, they should be immediately brought to the notice of the management for taking corrective measures, especially in the important areas. Thanks.